What if I told you there's a hidden process behind every piece of Popeye's legendary fried chicken, perfected to create the ultimate crispy bite? How about the perfection of its creation in a crispy chicken sandwich that sparked the war with Chick-fil-A? So much so that KFC was joining in late due to FOMO? Let's do a deep dive on how this fast food icon menu's made, revealing the secrets that keep millions craving for more. Popeyes was born in 1972 in the heart of Louisiana when founder Al Copeland decided to take a bold approach to fried chicken. He wanted something spicier than the typical Southern fare, and thus, Chicken on the Run became Popeyes, named after the character Popeye Doyle from The French Connection. Yes, not the sailor, surprisingly.
All right, Popeye's here. Get your hands on your heads. Get off the bar and get on.
What started as a single restaurant in New Orleans quickly turned into a beloved chain, known for its unique blend of Cajun-inspired spices, crispy texture, and that unmistakable Southern charm. Over the decades, Popeyes has built a cult following with its iconic fried chicken, biscuits, and those irresistible red beans and rice, making it one of America's most beloved fast food joints. How does Popeyes ensure every piece of chicken meets its high standards from farm to fryer? Look no further than the first step. It all starts with a meticulous selection process where quality is king. So how does Popeyes ensure their chicken is consistently juicy and tender while maintaining that signature flavor? It's supplier quality control, from farm to factory. Popeyes partners with carefully vetted suppliers who follow strict guidelines to meet the chain's high standards. These suppliers source chickens, predominantly from family-run farms in the southern United States, where the focus is on raising healthy, well-fed birds. But what exactly are they looking for? Meatiness? Popeyes looks for chickens with a good muscle-to-fat ratio, which ensures that each piece is plump and juicy. Tenderness? A younger, well-fed chicken with less muscle stress will typically have a finer texture, leading to the tenderness that Popeyes is known for. Consistent sizing. Suppliers ensure uniform sizing of chicken parts, like drumsticks, thighs, and breasts, so that every box of Popeyes fried chicken has consistent cook times and presentation. While the chicken itself is the star, the supporting cast of ingredients plays a huge role in making Popeyes fried chicken a taste sensation. The core of the recipe is its proprietary blend of spices to reflect the bold, punchy flavors of New Orleans cuisine. Although the exact recipe is a well-guarded secret, food experts have speculated what might be inside this magic mix. Paprika, for its deep, smoky undertones and brilliant color. Cayenne pepper, the kick of spice that leaves your lips tingling, adding to Popeye's signature heat. Garlic powder and onion powder. These give a savory umami base, balancing out the spices. White pepper. Unlike black pepper, white pepper has a slightly more pungent taste, adding another layer of heat. Oregano and thyme. These dried herbs add complexity, a nod to Cajun and Creole flavor profiles. Beyond the spice mix, Popeyes sources other key ingredients like flour, salt, and buttermilk. The flour used in the breading is finely milled and enriched, providing the perfect texture for the crispy coating. No Popeyes meal is complete without their legendary biscuits. The biscuits are buttery, flaky, and have a distinct, slightly sweet flavor. Just like the chicken, the ingredients for the biscuits go through rigorous quality checks. The flour, butter, and buttermilk used in the recipe are all selected based on strict quality standards. These ingredients are blended in a specific ratio to achieve that perfect melt-in-your-mouth texture. If the chicken is the superstar, then the biscuits are the loyal sidekick, always there, always dependable, and honestly, the reason some people make the trip to Popeyes in the first place. It's like a Batman and Robin situation, except tastier. So now that we've sorted out the stars of the show and prepped them to perfection, what's next? Here's where things get interesting. Unlike some other chains that might use a shorter, simpler brining process, Popeyes takes a more intensive approach. The chicken is wet marinated, meaning it's soaked in a liquid blend of seasonings and spices, allowing the flavors to deeply penetrate the meat. 1. Spice mix. Preparation. The first step in marination is creating the seasoning blend. It's a fiery, aromatic blend reminiscent of Louisiana's bold Creole cuisine. This spice blend is mixed into a wet marinade base, which could include ingredients like buttermilk or vinegar to tenderize the meat further. 2. Tumbling tanks. This is where the large-scale marination takes place. The chicken pieces are placed in tumbling tanks. Imagine giant washing machines. But instead of clothes, they're filled with chicken and marinade. The tumbling action helps ensure every piece gets evenly coated, allowing the spices to seep into every nook and cranny of the meat. It's like a flavor spa treatment for the chicken. 3. Duration and soaking. Popeyes ensures a marinating time that can last up to 12-24 hours. A notable difference from the short, brine-only processes that some competitors might use. This extended marination time allows the chicken to fully absorb the spices, creating a flavorful profile that can be tasted in every bite. It's like letting a good steak rest to absorb all those juices. The longer it sits, the more intense the flavor. Here's the million-dollar question. What makes Popeye's chicken taste so different from other giants like KFC and Chick-fil-A? It all comes down to the marinade. KFC's 11 herbs and spices. KFC is famous for its 11 herbs and spices, a mix that leans heavily into earthy, savory flavors with a touch of pepper. It's like the warm, comforting blanket of fried chicken flavors. Classic, but it doesn't pack the punch that Popeyes does. Marinating its chicken in pickle juice, which gives it a unique, slightly tangy flavor. It's a more subtle experience, perfect if you want to ease into your fried chicken journey. Popeye's bold flavor kick. Popeyes, on the other hand, goes full throttle with spices, using a buttermilk marinade for tenderness and a heavy dose of cayenne and paprika for that signature southern kick. The focus on a spicy, robust flavor profile is what makes Popeyes stand out in a sea of fried chicken options. So, the chicken is soaked in flavor and ready to be fried to perfection. But how does Popeyes get that unmistakable, ultra-crispy coating that has you diving in for more, no matter how hot it is? Let's get to the heart of what makes Popeyes so legendary. That unmistakable, shatteringly crispy crust. After the chicken has marinated for up to 12-24 hours, it's ready to take on its golden, crunchy armor. This part of the process isn't done in a factory, but happens right at the individual restaurant locations. Since freshness is the core pillar of Popeyes' approach, the restaurant breading process. After the marinated chicken is shipped from the processing facility to each Popeyes restaurant, the real artistry begins. Here's how it all goes down. 1. The secret flour mix. Popeyes uses a specially formulated flour blend, enriched with a mix of seasonings. While the exact ingredients are kept secret, it's safe to say that this flour mix contains a variety of spices that mirror the Cajun-inspired flavor profile. The flour acts as the base for the crispy coating, but it's the dredging technique that makes all the difference. 2. The double dredge technique. Popeyes employs a double dredge method. First, the marinated chicken is dipped into the flour mix, then back into a bowl of seasoned liquid, and then once again into the flour mixture. This double layering creates tiny clumps of flour on the chicken, which will fry up into crunchy, craggy bits of deliciousness. 3. Why the craggy coating matters. This technique, when done right, creates a textured, rugged coating on the chicken. The craggy bits are where all the crunch comes from, making each bite an explosion of textures. Unlike some fast food chains that opt for smoother, thinner coatings, Popeyes embraces this rough look because it translates to more crunch. Popeyes restaurants use breading stations specifically designed for this part of the process. These stations include tubs of seasoned flour mix and containers of liquid for dipping. It's a hands-on process, with employees breading each piece of chicken by hand. They use specialized racks to shake off excess flour before the chicken heads into the fryer. Now, you've got this beautifully breaded piece of chicken, ready to fry. But how does Popeyes get that perfect golden color and maintain its crispy texture every single time, even with massive lines and rush hours? The answer lies in their expert frying technique that makes Popeyes fried chicken one of America's greatest guilty pleasures. At this stage, every piece of meticulously marinated and freshly breaded chicken is ready to take a dip in the fryer. But first things first, the oil. This isn't your average grocery store vegetable oil. Popeyes uses a blend of high-quality oils, typically a mix of soybean oil and canola oil. Why this specific blend? The blend has a high smoke point, allowing the chicken to cook at higher temperatures without burning, ensuring a crispy exterior and a juicy, tender interior. Unlike some fast food chains that use partially hydrogenated oils laden with trans fats, Popeyes opts for non-hydrogenated oil blends, which contain lower levels of unhealthy fats. It's a small win for your arteries, even if fried chicken is still an indulgent treat. So, while you might not exactly be ordering a health food when you get Popeyes, at least you're getting a slightly less guilty pleasure. It's like opting for a diet soda with your double cheeseburger. It's all about those small wins, frying techniques that make Popeyes stand out. 1. Open fryer versus pressure fryer. One key difference between Popeyes and KFC is the type of fryer used. KFC is known for using pressure fryers, which cook the chicken faster and help lock in moisture. Popeyes, on the other hand, uses an open fryer method. This means the chicken is fried in an open vat, allowing the breading to get that craggy, crunchy texture we've been talking about. The open frying method results in a more pronounced crispiness, compared to the smoother, softer texture of KFC's pressure-fried chicken. 2. Fry time and temperature control. The chicken pieces are fried at a consistent temperature of around 350 degrees. The time each piece spends in the fryer varies based on size, typically between 12-15 minutes. Frying the chicken at this temperature also minimizes oil absorption, helping to keep the coating crisp rather than greasy. 3. Constant oil filtration. Here's another secret to Popeye's superior fried chicken. Each restaurant is equipped with specialized oil filtration systems that constantly filter the frying oil throughout the day. This practice removes crumbs and debris, preventing them from burning and imparting a bitter taste to the chicken. This attention to detail is why the last drumstick you get at the end of the day is just as delicious as the first one fried that morning. And there you have it. What's left is getting it from the fryer to your tray in the shortest time possible to preserve that crunch. It's hard to talk about Popeyes without mentioning the cultural phenomenon it sparked with the launch of its now famous chicken sandwich in 2019. This was the fried chicken equivalent of a mic drop, one that left competitors scrambling, customers lining up around the block. When Popeyes unveiled its chicken sandwich, it wasn't just a new menu item. It was the opening salvo in what became known as the Chicken Sandwich Wars. The sandwich was so popular that it sold out in just 2 weeks, creating a frenzy across the country and generating over $65 million in free advertising simply through social media buzz. Cultural impact. The release of the Popeyes chicken sandwich wasn't just a food event, it became a cultural moment. Memes exploded, Twitter went wild, and fans argued passionately about whether it was better than Chick-fil-A's legendary sandwich. It was like the Super Bowl of fried chicken, only the winners were everyone who got to enjoy a bite. The demand was so high that customers waited for hours in line, and some locations even reported scuffles over the last sandwich. Who knew fried chicken could spark such chaos? Growing demand. Across the US and beyond. Following the success of the chicken sandwich, Popeyes saw a surge in popularity. In 2020, the chain reported a whopping 38% increase in sales, making it one of the fastest growing fast food chains in the US. But it doesn't stop there. Popeyes is on a mission to take its Louisiana flavor global. It has expanded its footprint to over 30 countries, with new restaurants popping up in Europe, Asia, and even the Middle East. Clearly, the world is falling in love with that spicy, crispy taste. Fun fact: did you know that when Popeyes opened its first store in the UK, customers lined up as early as 5 a.m. to get their hands on the famous sandwich? The hype was so real that it was like a Black Friday sale, but for chicken lovers. Now, let's address the age-old debate. Which fast food chain has the best fried chicken in America? It's a fierce competition between KFC, Popeyes, and Chick-fil-A, each bringing its own flavor and unique flair to the table. According to various surveys, Popeyes often ranks high for its crispy texture and bold, spicy flavor profile that stands out from the pack. Its Louisiana-inspired seasoning and famous crunch make it the go-to for those craving a bit of heat and that satisfying crispy bite. But what about its rivals? KFC, with its secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, offers a more traditional, savory fried chicken experience. It's known for its tender, juicy meat and global fan base, thanks to its familiar and consistent recipe. On the other hand, Chick-fil-A boasts its juicy, pressure-cooked chicken fillets that are marinated in pickle juice, giving them a unique tenderness and slightly tangy taste. Plus, their customer service is legendary, turning quick meals into a welcoming experience. So, while Popeyes shines with its bold seasoning and extra crispy texture, KFC excels in its classic recipe and global appeal, and Chick-fil-A wins hearts with its tenderness and consistent quality. It all comes down to personal preference. Are you a fan of the spicy, crispy crunch, the original savory blend, or the pickle-marinated tenderness? Speaking of fried chicken, have you ever wondered how your favorite sides like crispy chicken nuggets or golden French fries are made in a factory before landing on your plate? Let us know in the comments which product you'd love to see us break down next. If you enjoyed this journey from the factory to your plate, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with your fellow fried chicken fans. See you in the next video, where we'll uncover more secrets from your favorite fast food chains.